absolutely.
Why?
Yeah, so actually USA Swimming did a study a number of years ago and found that 70% of African American children, 60% of Latino children, and 40% of Caucasian children just didn't know how to swim. And they found that was a problem. And they had the perfect platform to do something about it. So they've been partnering with a lot of programs to help give free and subsidized lessons to kids who otherwise probably wouldn't get those lessons.
It's just that I don't think many of them are going to grow up to become world champion swimmers like you, but it's a safety factor.
You don't teach a kid how to swim because you want them to be a world champion or Olympic champion swimmer. I actually really think that's probably reserved for very few people. Maybe Michael's kid at this point. But I know for me, it really truly was a water safety thing. I grew up in a town called Bremerton, and that's in Kitsap County in Washington State on the Puget Sound, and Kitsap County has the most coastline of any county in the United States. So my parents found that it was important for me to know how to swim. Whether I was visiting a friend's house that had a dock or a lot of the parks that we would go play at had little piers that we would go play on, and if I fell in, I needed to know how to swim and be safe in the water.
Yeah, good point. I guess, so you're just out there telling people, teach your kids how to swim.
Yeah, no, exactly. Instead of, there's kind of two ways to go about it, right? It's one way is just to avoid the water altogether, and then the other way is to kind of approach the problem head on and say, hey, let's get our kid in formalized swimming lessons.
Yeah. Nathan Adrian, our guest. How do you keep the water out of your mouth?
You don't. You keep the water out of your throat. You use your tongue to just kind of block your throat, I think. And there's just no doubt about it. You get a ton of water in your mouth. You're kind of swishing it around. So, the truth is that a lot of that water has been cycled through our mouths, but, we're pretty clean people. I brush my teeth every day.
Interesting. So you keep it off your throat. You don't keep it out of your mouth. That's interesting to know.
Yeah. There's actually even some of the guys. So on your back, it's actually especially hard. Because it's hard to keep it out of your nose. And, for me, I can use my lips to kind of block my nose, but I know some guys who, they're just like, whatever, and they just let the water go in through their nose and all through their sinuses and stuff, and, they'll be sitting in class, later that day at UC Berkeley, and they'll just have water dripping, just like gushing out of their nose. It's really kind of gross.
How about the flip at the end of the lane? How do you know when to flip that you don't hit your feet in the side of the wall?
Oh man, that's every swimmer's nightmare. There's certainly, we're flipping at really high speeds, and the point is to move those ankles over and get them on the wall as fast as possible. So, we do a lot of practicing, and you sight the walls before you go into any competition. That's the reason why I show up to the pool sometimes 2.5 hours early before a race. I just want to go see the walls, see what they look like, see if there's a little bit of a ledge, or see if I can see the corner where the wall meets the bottom of the pool, or if that little corner is a little bit more rounded, so I have to kind of sight the actual wall itself. Every pool is unique, and you just kind of figure it out how you're going to approach that wall at every pool.
All great insight. Nathan Adrian, we're out of time. Are you finished swimming, or are we going to see you 4 years from now?
Oh, no, we're going another 4. We'll definitely be going another 4.
Congratulations, best of luck, and thanks for the message, Nathan.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us.
You got it. Nathan Adrian, 3-time Olympic gold medalist swimmer, telling your kids, learn how to swim. You could save their life. 8:50.